Ascension symptoms can sometimes get in the way of our productivity. Today, I want to give you 4 ways to kind of stay the course, to stay productive, and keep your sanity. Hi guys, this is Rebecca. We're remembering our greatness here together. I want to give you some things that help me out when I'm going through a particularly hard day with ascension symptoms. If you don't know what an ascension symptom is, be sure to check my other videos about the main ascension symptom, lots of different ascension symptom videos that I have that'll help you understand what's going on with you. Have you ever had those days that are just like you can't get out of bed, or you just can't focus in on what you're supposed to do, or you're just tired, or something's just not making sense or clicking, you can't comprehend things like this is all can be part of ascension symptoms and awakening and dejection. This is the process of our awakening journey, and it's challenging. Oh my gosh, is it challenging? You know, Carolyn Meese says becoming the modern mystic is not easy, and if it was, humans before us would have been doing it. We are on the trajectory of the Great Awakening, okay? A lot of us are waking up at the same time. A lot of us are all coming into this journey together, and the idea that we are raising our vibration to the highest frequency that humans have ever experienced in physical bodies. This is the ascension process, embodying high frequency energies, and these meat suits have to integrate the high frequencies, and that's why we have ascension symptoms. And it can be really hard to have a structured life with work and everything, but you can do it. I'm lucky enough to work from home and to kind of go through my own schedule. You know, flexibility, if you can create a flexible life for yourself at this time of your life, that would be really great, because you do work kind of outside the box right now. There's times where you're just going to feel great and want to go for the work, and there's times when you can't, like you just have to take off. So if you can start to construct your life where you can work from home or create your own business, however you want to do it, however you want to create it, but it's time to have a more flexible life so that you can kind of work with the ebbs and flows of these ascension symptoms. All right, so let's dive in. I have 4 things for you today. Got my dry erase board here for you. The first number 1 thing that I always do, it's essential, is that you make sure you are meditating every day. Get still. Listen in. If you're having a particularly foggy day, do it for like 30 to 45 minutes, okay? Believe me, it will be the most productive thing you do. Do this 30 to 45 minutes of meditation really helps you get clear of number 4, which is really working in the flow. You'll get clear on your next step during the day, okay? You'll also pull in and, you know, tune into source energy. You will tune into kind of the topic of your day. You'll tune into what might serve you, like maybe extra water or a walk, or you'll just get clarity if you spend this time with meditation and stillness. So 30 to 45 minutes, guys. Meditate, sit there. You know, if you're like, I'm not a meditator, do it anyway. If your thoughts are running wild, just let them. Try to let them float away. Just be still and quiet for 30 to 45 minutes. Number 1. Okay, number 2, concrete essentials first. So what do I mean by that? That means like things like deadlines, like a bill has to be paid today. Okay, do those things first. You know, there's absolutely no food to nourish yourself. Go get some food. These are the essentials that need to be done. Deadlines. Oh, sanity producing things. So food, right? For me this morning, I had to move things out of my living space. I work from home, and I was like, this house cannot be like this. I had to just gut some of the clutter that was happening in our living space. So I had to do that. anything that's going to produce sanity producing things or deadlines or things that are going to nourish you need to be done. Those are essentials. I would do those second. So meditate first. Second, get to your concrete essentials. Let everything else out of your mind and get those essentials done. Number 3 is think outside the box. So what do I mean by that? That means, like, as a high vibe being, you have other ways to get things done. And so there is delegation. There's asking for help. There's asking the universe to help you. There is a really cool what is it called? Tool, I guess. It's called the Placemat Exercise. And you get a piece of paper and you put it, you know, kind of landscape style, and you put a line down the middle. And over here you put the essentials, kind of like the concrete essentials that have to be done today. And on the other side, you just list everything else. And then you say the question, how does this get done? And you say, universe, source, help me with this. How does this get done? And so you think outside the box and you ask for help from the universe, from source. And all of a sudden, what you start to notice is that the things on that side start to just easily get done. Like the phone call you needed to make, they call you. Or a bill that had to be paid gets postponed. Or, I don't know, like a work deadline gets pushed forward. Or like, what other things? Like if you had to do a carpool, all of a sudden someone's like, oh, we don't need to be picked up today because we're going on vacation, or whatever it is. All of a sudden, the things that you couldn't even possibly put together start to dissolve, and your list and your day gets easier. So that's called the Placemat Exercise. It's in the book Ask and It Is Given by Esther Hicks. It's one of the 22 processes to help you in your life. And I really recommend it. So really think outside the box. Who can you delegate to? Who can you ask for help? If you pray and ask for help from the universe, that placemat thing, like what things in your day could get done by another way. Something that you didn't even think of, but it starts to get better. Okay. And number 4 is follow the flow. So these two are kind of linked. Meditating gets you in the flow, okay? And sometimes I start going into the flow before I get my concrete essentials done. I don't recommend that because sometimes I get too floaty and inspired and creative, and then all of a sudden I didn't pay the electric bill. So I really meditate and then get those concrete essentials done. So following the flow means like go where you're feeling drawn, you know, even though this kind of goes with thinking outside the box too, because even though you're going with the flow, you may think like, oh, I have to do it this way to get it done. That's not true. So if you go with the flow, say, I'll give an example of my life. I have music to practice for a few gigs this weekend. I'll go with the flow and I'll practice like one song, and then I'll go over here and make this video, and then I'll go over here and practice one other song, and then I'll go over here and be like, oh, I'm hungry, I'm gonna go eat, and then I'm gonna go with the flow. It's really nice out, I really need fresh air, I'm gonna go for a walk and come back and practice another song. Like in the past, it would have been like, I have to practice for an hour, and I'll sit there and that's just not working for me anymore. It has to be very fluid and flowy for me. So I practice my music in kind of one song increments and then go to the next. And so think outside the box, and also, go with the flow to see where you go next. It's really, really crucial to take the next inspired action. And so when you're, kind of feeling foggy or tired, or you're ringing in your ears, or you can't make sense of your day, this is all ascension symptoms. And really following these 4 things will really help. And some days you're just worthless and you just have to go lay down. Be okay with taking a day off, even if it's not, a day off. This is thinking outside the box. You may need a nap in the middle of the day. You may need to take 2 hours off in the middle of the day. That's why it's kind of essential that you start creating your life in a way that's very flexible and that you can work on your own terms. Because when you're going through ascension symptoms, you kind of have to be on your own terms. It's kind of tough when you're in a 9-to-5 job and you have to show up. If that's the case, see if you can do shorter shifts, okay? See if some companies have wellness or break rooms. See if you can really cash in on that break time, you know? Meditate, take a nap, take a walk. Really do something that's gonna feed you and nourish your vibration on those break times, okay? So I know during like an 8 or 10 hour shift, you should have, you know, a lunch break and maybe 2 other like 10-minute breaks. Make sure that you cash in on those. 10 minutes can really feed you if you do it right. If you're sitting on your phone just scrolling, you're gonna burn out. So get out, get sunshine in your face, okay? So sunshine has vitamin D, which is really good for the immune system and mental health. But the other thing that happens is that when the sunlight comes in through our eyes, our serotonin and dopamine levels start to regulate and raise. And that has to do with your mind health and your ability to focus. So really in those 10-minute breaks, nourish yourself, get sunshine, get a wholesome snack. Go up and down steps, you know, like just get some movement going. Meditate, you know, read inspiring things. So that's if you are on a shift, a long shift, and you haven't, your life hasn't worked out to be on your own terms and flexible yet, and you're on a shift. You can still, you know, feed yourself and help these ascension symptoms if you really cash in on these break times. So lunch break, you know, really make sure you're using your lunch break wisely. And the first way to do that is make sure you're packing a lunch or going to a place that has wholesome food, has food that your body really vibes with, that raises your vibration, okay? So I would stay away from fast food unless your body's just really craving it and just really needs that burger. But tune in, ask your body. A lot of times during ascension symptoms, fat, okay, is a really good component. So avocado, like good fats, like olive oil and avocado and, you know, just organic butter. Like we want some substance, right? Another thing is just greens, making sure you're having high nutrients. And a great way to do that is a greens powder. You know, that greens powder has like all like, you know, kale and broccoli and carrots and has all like the superfoods in it, like a superfood green powder. That would be great to incorporate into your lunch, because sometimes we can't get, you know, in like a turkey sandwich and some carrot sticks, we can't really get like the superfoods our body and being are really craving at this time when we are having these ascension symptoms. So make sure you feed yourself well and get some really high quality nutritionals like greens powders, probiotic, good fats, what else? Fiber. You want to stay very regular. I know we have to talk about it, but you got to keep things moving in your body. You really want to make sure you are not toxic. When you're going through ascension symptoms, your body is raising its vibration, and if you have toxicity in your body, it's gonna make it worse. So you want to get very clean. So make sure you're flushing stuff out. You know, you're having a bowel movement 2 or 3 times a day, and you're drinking lots of water, detox tea, let's see what else, water and apple cider vinegar is a really good one too. Really cleanses and alkalizes. So your body will let you know if you really talk to your body. So one of the things I do is, I'm trying to think, you know, if this was a food, I'd just hold it up to my belly and I'd be like, body, would this be a contribution to you today? And I either go toward it, which would be a yes, or I kind of lean back, which would be a no. And I have a bunch of supplements and nutritional things that I do that with. I usually don't take supplements every single day, but all of a sudden I get a knowing and I get a little hit and an awareness to say, "Ooh, time to do that." Like today, I took vitamin C, vitamin B12, I took my greens powder, I took an adrenal support. So just checked in with my body, and my body was like, yes, please. So I took them. And you're going to go through phases. What I've noticed with Ascension Symptoms and life in general is that we go through phases. This stuff's not going to last every day and every week. So just be gentle with yourself. If you're having a hard week, just allow the hard week. Up the nutrients, up the sleep if you can, up the flow, meditate more, and know that the next week it's probably going to calm down. It's kind of funny. My husband knows this about me now. He knows that if I have one of those days or 3 days that, I just have to like lay in bed until I feel the urge to move. And he doesn't think twice about it. He's just like, okay, she's having that day. And yeah, I just feel super, super grateful to have a husband that understands my flow with this. And then I'll get up, and for a few days I'll just be like boom, 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 and get stuff done and be super productive. So another really good tactic about productivity is to think about productivity within a week rather than a day. Because sometimes you can get, as a high vibe being, you can get a lot done in 24 hours when you're feeling good. And if you're not feeling good for half the week, and then you just like all of a sudden your ascension symptoms integrate, your vibration raises, and boom, the last 3 days of the week, you're like a superhero and you can get stuff done that you had planned out for just the whole week. So just remember, think outside that box, because life is different now. Life is not the typical week. It's not the typical day. And really think of your productivity within a week or a month, because you're not going to have that typical get up at 7, be productive till 5, and go to bed at 9 type of life anymore. It's just the way it is. You got to go with the flow and follow your intuition. And yeah. And so the ascension journey, once you're on it, it's like sometimes you're like, can I just go back? I just want to be normal. I just want to have a regular life again. And I've been there actually very recently. I was like, this is tough. Like, I think I want to just go back. But the thing is, we can't. We're evolving, it's like humans, we can't go back to being cavemen, right? I mean, it's just like, it's just the way it is. Be present with it, be in the flow with it. The less resistance you have, the less trouble you'll have with the ascension symptoms. And if you learn how to start working your day and week and month with the ascension symptoms, because most likely they come a few days a week now or every day, and learning how to deal with that. So guys, what questions do you have? Where are your biggest challenges with the ascension symptoms you're having, and how to be productive with a work situation? Because we're ascending, yet we still have to pay the bills, right? Right now I like being in a home with a bed and with food. So maybe someday that'll change, but somehow I have to support this. And so we can ask the universe, help me out here. Show me the money, because I'm ascending and I'm helping the vibration of the planet. Show me some money so I can, stay comfortable and go at my own pace. So having a lot of talks with the universe and source energy, and having a lot of talks with your body, communing with these parts of yourself, is really essential to work through these ascension symptoms and stay productive and receive the finances that you require in your life, and have a life that feels purposeful and creative. So you know, sometimes these ascension symptoms can really floor us. And for me, I mean, sometimes I can just be in bed for days. And sometimes I can get a little depressed, you know, because I'm like, I want to be productive, I want to be creative, I want to be out in my life. And just know that it's a phase. This is what helps me. It's just a phase. This too will pass, and it always does. And sometimes coming off of that, watching like an inspiring or just light movie or some comedy helps me kind of get back into the game and stuff. So it's all a game. All that productivity stuff, it's all a game. The biggest thing is to be present with this day, right here, right now. Release the resistance. Meditate. Get in the flow. Do your concrete essentials. Think outside the box. Follow the flow. Ask for help. Delegate. And make sure you're doing those sanity-producing things. You know, create a home environment that feels very light to you. Eat food that's light. Yeah. So I hope this was helpful. I go through this stuff a lot. Please write down any questions or anything you're going through or anything that helps you. We're doing this together, guys. We're remembering our greatness together. And let's share our stories. So namaste, beautiful one. I'll see you tomorrow. If there is a topic that you would like some information on, just put it in the comments. I'd be happy to do a video on it.